that are into cars, rust is the chemical reaction equivalent of that sick bastard at McDonald's whose job is to jam a wrench in the ice cream machine just before I order my Oreo McFlurry. In other words, it exists solely to make me sad and ruin my day. It ruins our precious rally Subarus, it gives our frames speed holes, it makes the Terminator hate winter, and ultimately, given enough time, it ruins our safety, our investments, and most importantly, our feelings. Which is why preventing it is actually a really good thing, because when you do it, you just feel good about yourself. It's a high like no other. And lucky for us, there exist several products out there that are cheap, effective, and very easy to use, and so I'm going to talk about those today so that you don't ever have to worry about this rust bullshit ever again. So here's what to do. Go to Amazon or AutoZone and get yourself 3 to 5 cans, depending on your car's size, of either fluid film or CRC marine corrosion inhibitor. These cans run about $10 each, and they are the 2 best rust preventers that money can buy. There are others that perform just as well, but they cost way more money, so you might as well get these. And if you want proof, there's actually 2 rust preventer shootouts that you can watch by Repair Geek and Project Farm that actually illustrate them in action. But the point is, these are like the Deadpool of rust preventers. Maybe not perfect, but has humanity really ever come closer? And the key thing that makes these whip paint and undercoatings asses is that they can't be chipped away. They're more like spray greases that block oxygen from touching the metal surface. And that's important because when paint or an undercoating chip, they often leave little pockets where water can just get in there and sit, which if you know anything about metal and water together, it's that they love having little chemical fiestas together. And the result will be your car rusting actually way faster than if you just hadn't done anything at all. It's kind of like naming your kid Lightning McQueen, feels good in the moment, probably not good long term, and that's why many mechanics will tell you that undercoatings will destroy your car.
However, it locks in all the moisture underneath it. Do not have this stuff sprayed on your car. It is an absolute disaster, as all paintable type undercoatings are.
These rust preventative paints actually work quite well.
Well, the experienced ones anyway. To use a different analogy, fluid film or CRC marine corrosion inhibitor, these are like shields that auto regen, whereas paint or an undercoating are more like armor made from asbestos. Once they're damaged, you get lung cancer. Now with the lore established, here's how you apply them. So start by getting some space under your car. You could do this by jacking it up, losing some weight, driving down your mom's flower beds. You're creative, I'm sure you'll figure something out. Then if you want the quickest and easiest way, just spray everything you can see. You'll be done in 5 minutes. But if you're not a lazy asshole, then first scrape off any existing rust you can see on any metal, or peeling paint for that matter, and then spray everything. And while you're at it, make sure to penetrate all these little small holes, no matter how tight or painful, because after all, there are 2 sides to a steel tube. Now, when I actually first did this a year ago to my own BMW over there, I actually made myself a little sprayer attachment tip with a little plastic tube by poking holes in the end for holes exactly like this. This was because I was a cheap bitch and I didn't want to pay for the one that came with the fluid film kit, so I don't know if that time investment was worth it, but I'm gonna act like it was so I can feel better about myself. Now, in my personal experience, I tend to prefer CRC for anything that gets wet, like the suspension above me, or apparently not Ben Shapiro's wife, because it doesn't wash off. It kind of dries to like a waxy texture, and even a pressure washer won't take it off, which, come to think of it, is probably why it says marine on the can and has a picture of a boat. Fluid film, on the other hand, will wash off, seeing as it is more fluidy, but I've found that it works well at getting into little crevices because it basically sprays out like carbonated snot. Now here's the takeaway. Once you're done, you're gonna be protected for at least like a year or 2 before you'll wanna consider maybe touching things up again. You're also gonna relate to this dude from Lord of the Rings on a spiritual level. After all, you are literally spraying grease directly into the air above you for extended periods of time. Same goes for any poor technician who has to work on your car in the future, so maybe consider some glasses and a mask while you're at it. But you know what? This shouldn't be a big deal, because if you had standards, you wouldn't be watching me. And if your friends had standards, they wouldn't be your friends.